I got some nice instructions which works in my favor and in Epicor's favor. First of all, thank you to all the previous speakers. All the previous 4 sessions were really insightful. I really picked up a lot on it, and what it really helps me to do is build on my presentation, which is purely on accelerating business performance through technology. I personally live in Dubai, but I'm from India, worked in this market for a very long time and represent Epicor Corporation. And you heard some of the other technology names in the previous slides. I've worked for them as well, like SAP, Microsoft, etc. I'll start with a very basic but a very good example which shows how technology has changed consumer behavior. And I'm not picking up an example of an automotive of a car, which my peers just did, but I think I'll build on that as I move forward. This is an example of a family or a consumer going to buy a refrigerator. When you walk into a store which is selling refrigerator, what are the parameters a typical family in India or anywhere in the world is looking for? Size of the family. Basically what you're trying to judge is the size of the refrigerator which you're going to buy. Second is usability, which really defines into the number of doors, which is the main refrigerator, which is the freezer. If you open, there are multiple doors inside where you have a cheese section, a milk section, etc. Third, and a very important one, value for money. What's my investment? How long my investment is going to last? So that's around 10-year investment, which relates into what's the warranty of the compressor or warranty of the other parts. And fourth, which is also an extremely important factor, which is the brand which you're going to buy. Everybody is really brand conscious. But what really happens when you now, these days, walk into a store which is in a metro city, the refrigerator company or the product company is not selling the refrigerator based on those 4 parameters. They're selling the refrigerator based on these parameters: food management, family connection, entertainment. Now, food management, I won't spend a lot of time on it, probably you all know it. Food management, for example, means something very simple. Which shelf does the milk go? Where does the cheese go? Where does the meat go? What is the shelf life? What happens when the milk is running over? You take the bottle off. There are IoT sensors now built into the refrigerator. The message goes to the family owner that milk has to be replaced. How does the message go? It can come to your IoT device. Now fridges are coming with a screen where it is connected to your Amazon account, for example, and the order is automatically placed and the cart is fulfilled. Was the consumer going and looking for these things? No. But this is an example where the AI readiness and the advancement of technology drove the consumer behavior. Even when consumer was not looking for it, refrigerator company, brand companies, they wanted to differentiate themselves. They went ahead and gave this to the consumer, and consumers like it. So even now, a mid-market family, when they walk in, they want these features available in their refrigerator. But this is the real value drivers in any economy. Quite a busy slide, not going to spend a lot of time, but you look at the middle circle, which are the value drivers. So supply and demand connection, time to market, service after sales, resources, processes, asset utilization, labor, quality, inventories, etc. These are the core drivers for any organization, and there's a lot of disruption happening in all these drivers. But usage of technology to bring about the change, which is the outer circle, for example, remote maintenance, virtually guided self-service, smart energy consumption. When it comes to quality, what are the standard process controls? What are the statistical process controls? So a lot of changes have to be done within each of these parameters so that the organizations can drive benefit and value. Benefits like 20 to 50% reduction in time to market, increasing your forecast accuracy, cost of quality reduction, cost of inventory, etc. So all these are the drivers which are really impacting how the consumer behaves and how the manufacturer has to respond in return for these changes which are coming in play. This brings us to the smart manufacturing ecosystem. What is smart manufacturing really? It's a flexible system which provides flexibility, scalability, provides speed to the business, and it is done through interconnection of network of machines using advanced technologies and processes, giving data analysis, visualization, and most importantly, predictive engineering. And I think in the previous, all the keynotes, everyone almost touched upon each of these items. What does this ecosystem really mean? So I have divided it into 5 parameters. First is end-to-end digitized, something which is very basic, and which can relate to an ERP system, a fully integrated end-to-end ERP system. Second, scalable and flexible. And from technology point of view, it means the technology you are adopting, what kind of architecture does it have? Is it available on the cloud? Is it built to scale the business as the business grows? On top of it sits the smart planning and forecasting technology tools. And fourth would be the IoT sensors and data capture. I think this was covered very well. It's machine-to-machine talking. It is the manufacturing execution system. And last, but a very important bit is business intelligence and data analytics, coupled with AI and machine learning. So this really gives you the complete smart manufacturing ecosystem. And if you keep layering each of these 5 elements, it comes up with our 4.0 components. And again, all these components were again covered. And I think, Yash, it was in one of your slides, which I really liked. You were defining almost each of the items in detail. So I captured that. So not going to go through it in detail. But if you look at digital twins, it was a need of the hour, especially when COVID hit. Very important safety feature, running your machines, running your shop floor without human being in the factory at that point in time. Digitization, which is machine reading, machine learning, a very important aspect. Cloud computing, it was touched base recently. Introduction of blockchain to build the trust between all the entire value chain, which Satish was mentioning about. But let's look from organization point of view. So what I just spoke about, change in consumer behavior because of technology. What are the components of Industry 4.0, but what is the behavior of an organization? And this is from Martek's law. The blue line represents how the technology is growing and changing exponentially, and how the organization are changing. And somewhere in the middle, there's a gap. The idea here is not to fill the gap and get them married together. The gap will always be there. But as technology leaders and as manufacturing leaders, you are somewhere in the middle trying to bridge that gap by adopting technologies. And the way you adopt technology today is, I would recommend baby steps. You cannot absorb and adopt everything at the same point in time. So look at the stages where you are in today's journey. And that's what some of the basic processes are outlined. So basic process, a company which is probably in a stage where they don't have an ERP system, it's probably a manual process. Standard process, they've adopted a nice, good manufacturing ERP end-to-end, and then comes the automated processes where you're adopting manufacturing execution system and other technological advancements. And last bit is the smart intelligent process where you're bringing advent of AI, machine learning, etc. Now again, depending on which stage of journey an organization is, you make your digital strategy. If you're in the basic process, our recommendation would be start with laying down a digital strategy. Get the buy-in from your management. Make them understand what the business value a digital strategy would be in. And I think, Umesh, in your presentation, probably you mentioned the roles to play. So depending on whether you're a technology leader, you're a tier 1 or you're tier 2 or tier 3, I've broken it down into what stage of digital maturity today you are at. The other one is customers' experience and the changing customer expectation. I think this is a big one. And retailers, FMCG companies generally had been very fast in looking at how consumer behavior is changing and adopting to it. Manufacturing was somewhat left behind. The OEM part manufacturer, for example, was last in the value chain to understand what's happening. But today, with the way technology has come in, the experiences are changing. Competition is driving a lot of changes. And the third one, I would say, is personalization. We are moving from a day of customization to personalization. We went to very specific products for people. We went to customization for masses. And now we are at a stage where we need to personalize at scale, at speed, for a product which was built for masses. It's a very difficult challenge to fulfill, but companies are really using technology to do it today. And again, there's a lot of knowledge loss happening due to the aging workforce. And I'll give you an example, and I'll bring the automotive example here because I think that resonates well with this audience. Let's take an example of Tesla. So company came about 15, 18 years ago. You're probably all aware of it. Elon Musk built a nice electric vehicle, brought in a lot of AI into the car, good technology, beautiful looking cars, everybody wants to buy it, became the #1 car company, beating all the other combustion engine companies. They spent the first 5 years really fixing the tech, doing the R&D, coming up with electric, enhancing the batteries, and probably, Yash, you know a lot about how that is done. But next level was how to really bring the car out to the market, how to sell it. So they changed the game over there, and this is an example which is the reverse of what I said earlier. Here the consumer behavior had already changed. So we were selling cars to people who are already familiar and comfortable with how e-commerce works. The Amazon effect, I would call. Amazon spoiled the market. You go online, build up a shopping cart, click the button, you know what your cost is, you know when the product is going to be shipped. But they were buying retail products, clothing, anything you want to, except cars. Consumer was spoiled. There was a good tech in hand. Manufacturing was happening only in one location, Fremont, the mothership in California. Now he wanted to get this product out to the consumers in the United States. Eventually it moved to the Middle East, moved to Europe, moved to UK, moved to China. They went everywhere. But today a consumer experience is something like this. A consumer goes online. You have a choice to visit the Tesla showroom, but if you don't want to, there's no need. You go online, you start building your shopping cart. You decide the color of the car, you decide what interior seats you want, you decide what of the console should be wooden or fabric or whatever the third material is. You decide whether you want standard speakers or do you want Harman Kardon speakers. You decide the size of the tire. You start configuring and you start building your car online. And while you're building the car, the visualization starts changing. So you can not only build the car, you can visualize how your car is going to look like. It gives you a 360-degree view, and the next step is starts telling you when will the car get shipped to you. This is a high level of personalization a consumer is getting now. And when you click the checkout button, it tells you the exact cost. It gives you about 24 hours for Tesla to accept whether they've accepted your order, and that starts telling you the delivery schedule, and it shows you in which part of the journey this car is. Now, a consumer sitting online on the website is now directly connected to the shop floor. Now that's ultimate digitization, and that is also something which Satish mentioned in his value chain network. So it's not just the consumer connected to the shop floor, and there's Tesla in the middle. They do most of the manufacturing, but they source a lot of parts. So sending that information out to everyone is extremely important. So this was my other example where consumer behavior led to the change to bring in technology to provide the real customer experience, and we were not used to in the automotive sector. For me personally, this would be a real game changer would be where a consumer can pick up the car, the color of the car, which is not even available on the website. So this is high level of personalization, but I don't think it's ultimate. If Tesla is giving me 10 color choices, that's the only one. But what if I want, I don't need to go to a wrapping company outside and get my car wrapped. I can pick up a purple color if I want to, and pick up a red interior if I want to, and the car is manufactured and given to me at speed. I could be only one consumer in the world asking for that car, or I could be 1 million consumers asking for that car. I should still receive it. So this was my another example, and this is where we're trying to address some of the very simple questions. What if we give you the flexibility to configure, price, and quote visually anytime from anywhere? These are the questions we all need to ask ourselves. What can we do, or how can we shorten the sales cycle, time to market? How can I, with speed, give out proposals and ensure accuracy and efficiency in everything? Means there is a lot of cost. For a consumer, it's just a shopping cart. For consumer, it's just pricing the product. But for the manufacturer, he needs to source every single part which goes on making that product. This is also helping me enable new sales channels, direct purchases, whether it's B2B, B2C, etc. So multiple sources of consumers being able to buy. And last but not the least, between all of this, we have the right tools and right solutions which helps you eliminate manufacturing bottlenecks or mistakes. With that, I'll introduce Epicor to you. Just a couple of slides. We are a company which came into being 50 years ago. We are Austin headquartered out of United States. About 4,500, almost 5,000 employees. Out of that, 800 are in India from our Bangalore office and spread across the country. More than 21,000 customers around the world, and we are present in 120 countries. What we really provide is software. In short, software which is called ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. You heard about that. And we provide this to three main industries: make, move, and sell. Make is the manufacturing industry base. Move is the trading, distribution, and sell is the retail. For the purpose of our discussion today and for the purpose of our country where we are focused heavily on manufacturing. Our ERP today serves most of the discrete manufacturers within this country and across the wider region. And we are fully available on cloud. We've partnered with Microsoft. We use Microsoft Azure Data Center right here. Oh, by the way, that data center is in Pune, coincidentally. Our product is called Epicor Kinetic, which is our cloud ERP, and we do a bunch of other solutions which sit on top of ERP, which helps you solve the problems which I previously defined. But our approach, I think this is something I want to really talk about. First is deep vertical expertise. As I said, we are built for manufacturers, built by manufacturers. And within manufacturing, we focus only on very specific verticals. So if you're into pharma, for example, we can't really help you unless I bring in another ERP from my US office. But when it comes to the point of India, we provide discrete manufacturing capability. We have a mission-critical product portfolio, which means we have a lot of these add-on solutions like manufacturing execution systems, configure price quote systems, our document automation systems, which sit on ERP, providing you last-mile functionality. Our solutions are built and architected ground up all the way to the consumer level on cloud, giving you full security. ERP traditionally was a transaction-based system. Today, it's not. It's a data-driven system of record, and that's what our aim is to provide to our consumers, especially to the C-level. And our focus, mid-market to large enterprise. So our ERPs can scale from small to mid-market, and Umesh, to your slide deck, that tier 3 really represents a massive opportunity today, especially in India. And we scale from that level all the way to enterprise. And we have customers, especially in the automotive sector within India. We cover the whole gamut, and they're pretty happy customers. So ERP sits in the middle. We have manufacturing execution system. We provide advanced unit of measure, very specific capabilities and functionalities. But some of these add-ons, mobile warehouse management system, we do CAD link. We have a very nice financial planning and analysis tool. Configure price quote, the Tesla example. 3D visualization. So if you're into modular construction, modular buildings, building some very nice, fancy, big products, you can buy this add-on module. Even if you don't have an Epicor ERP system, it can sit on another ERP system and help your consumers make the right purchase. ECM, which is content management, workflow, document management system, along coming up with the OCR capability to read physical documents, automate them, and bring it to your ERP system. And eFlex is our manufacturing execution system. I'm on my last couple of slides. So coming through the whole journey of value drivers, what Industry 4.0 looks like, how is organization changing, what kind of digital maturity they are. What we eventually drive is business value, and that was the topic of my presentation today. So what Epicor did was, we worked with IDC, and I'm sure you are most of you are aware of IDC, one of the largest market research company. They interviewed 1,000 customers of Epicor in the manufacturing sector, most of them in India, in the mid-market and large enterprise space, to understand what is the value our ERP has given to them over a course of time. So some of the highlights: 14.2% higher total revenue achieved, a whooping 373% ROI within a 3-year period. The payback of the ERP system or the investment they did, they got a payback within 9 months, and 94% of their products were delivered on time. And this is a cumulative feedback what we got. Their average gross margin increased 2.6 points. Their net margin increased 1.5 times. And coming to some of the operational gains: 34% higher order volume, 39% more orders delivered on time, etc. 63% fewer unplanned outages and interruptions, 90% higher inventory automation rate, 32% higher productivity finance team. And all these researches and feedback is real time. And we have some very nice published case studies within India by our Indian customers who talk about the same, and they are presenting their case study. And this has really helped us put, if you know about the Gartner Magic Quadrant, we are available on the leaders side, especially when it comes to product-centric ERP. A similar study was done by Forrester for very large enterprise, 4 large composite company in industrial manufacturing companies. The present value benefit of $12.9 million, 10% greater staff efficiency in planning, scheduling, and customer service, $250,000 saved annually in rework reduction, and about $500,000 saved annually by avoiding expedited shipping. So these are some of the high-level metrics on how we provide business value. And today, our team is available here. We have a booth outside where you can come and talk to us. And we not only give you a solution, but we do a detailed study of your current organization stage to help you understand how you can drive the benefit. With that, this is my last slide, and it does have a car, and it does have a Formula One car. Vikas, I'll build on your example. Thanks for showing that video. Now it helps me build on that story even better. So Epicor is a proud sponsor of AlphaTauri. It's the Italian car racing company. If you are a Formula One fan, you go to Grand Prix, I do that, you will see AlphaTauri over there, and Epicor brand is on top of it. So it's not a marketing thing only. It's not that we are a sponsor of the car, we are hosting people. There's Abu Dhabi Grand Prix this month, so we'll be sponsoring them. Our guests are welcome to come over there. We take you to the paddock, we take you to do the pit lane walk, etc. But the interesting part over here is not the race itself. These cars are built on Epicor ERP. So the parts, the manufacturing which happens in Italy, they're running Epicor ERP. So the precision, this is special. This is cutting edge. This is not your regular automobile which you're running on the roads. But coming back to the race itself, the first race, Vikas, which you showed, took what, 6 seconds? No. 3 minutes, wow, okay. The next one was 1 second? Yeah, something like that. The humans were the same, and that's the point of manufacturing or Industry 5.0, human and machines collaboration, working hand in hand together. I've seen this live in action. So today, the sensors are put on this race driver as well, not just the car. So when the race driver is sitting in the car, fully suited with the helmet, every part of the suit and the helmet has a sensor built into it. So not just the car which is giving the data back, it's also the driver, how his pulse is changing at the turn, how his pulse, his heart rate, his sweat rate is changing when he's getting overtaken by the competitor. Or if he's winning, are his muscles getting relaxed, or is he tensed? Is there any visual, physical damage which is happening, not just to the car, but also to the human? The car comes back in the first race, they do the change of the tire, they polish the windshield, they make sure everything is running well. But what happens when the race ends? And that really it becomes interesting. When the race ends, the moment car comes in, within milliseconds, there are at least 40 to 50 cables which are attached to the car instantly. And the driver is made to sit for about 10 minutes in a very special chair. They keep monitoring every single thing. And that is really critical, because this company or any car racing company in the next race wants to win, even if it is by 0.1 millisecond. Now, how do you do that? By collecting data and doing data analysis. So those cables are immediately collecting data. There's a team of 10 technicians sitting right there in the pit lane with large screens, collecting data, quickly analyzing, and within the next minute, the entire data is sent to the factory in Italy, to the shop floor, and they start second round of analysis to see if any nut or bolt needs to be changed in the car. That's the level of precision, and that's where the Industry 5.0 example fits in well, human and robots working hand in hand in collaboration. With that, thanks a lot. Thank you for your patient listening, and if you have any questions, clarifications for me or for anybody in the audience, for the other keynote speakers, you're welcome. Otherwise, Rumina, I'll hand it over to you. Thank you.